My daughter looked me in the eye at her rehearsal dinner and called me peasant stock in front of 200 people. 3 days later, she had the audacity to ask for my $2.6 million beach house. What I did next changed both our lives forever. My name is Martin Harris. 37 years ago, I was an 8-year-old orphan at St. Mary's Children's Home in Dorchester, Massachusetts. No parents, no family, no money. Just me and 46 other forgotten kids, surviving on donated oatmeal and hope. I learned early that nobody was coming to save me, so I saved myself. At 22, I bought a $50 food cart outside Fenway Park, sold hot dogs and soda to Red Sox fans, made $37 my first day and thought I was rich. 28 years of 18-hour days later, I owned Harris Family Kitchen, 8 locations across Massachusetts, pulling in $2.1 million in annual profit. Not bad for peasant stock, but here's what mattered most. I never forgot where I came from. Every month I wrote a $5,000 check to St. Mary's. No publicity, no fanfare, just giving back. My daughter Madison never knew struggle. I made the classic mistake. I gave her everything I never had. Private schools, designer clothes, Swiss summer camps, a $400,000 trust fund at 25. I thought I was being a good father. I was creating a monster. Madison grew up believing money just appeared. That success was normal. That struggle happened to other people. Then she met Preston Blackwood III at Harvard Business School. Old money, trust fund royalty, family wealth dating back to the 1800s. Preston saw my daughter for what she was, new money desperately trying to buy class. But Madison saw him as her golden ticket. They got engaged after 6 months. She called me crying with joy, saying she'd finally found her real family, that the Blackwoods understood her in ways I never could. That should have been my first warning. 2 weeks before the wedding, Madison called. Dad, we need to talk. I knew that tone. It's the voice she used when she wrecked her BMW at 17, when she maxed out her credit cards at 23, when she needed me to fix something she'd broken. What's wrong, sweetheart? It's about the wedding. Preston's family has some concerns. What kind of concerns? About your background, your circumstances. The words hung in the air like poison. Madison, what are you trying to say? They think it might be better if you didn't attend the ceremony. The blow landed square in my chest. You're uninviting me from your wedding? Dad, please don't make this harder. The Blackwoods have a certain image to maintain. They're friends. They're business associates. With your history. My history of what? Working hard. Building a business from nothing. You're a food cart guy. Who got lucky? They have breeding, class, history, things you can't buy. There it was. The truth she'd been dancing around. I see. And what am I exactly? She paused. You're not their kind of people. I stayed quiet for a long moment. Okay. If that's what you want, I won't attend. Really? You're not going to fight me? No, sweetheart. I want you to be happy. I knew exactly how much it meant to her. Everything. I didn't go to my daughter's wedding. Instead, I spent that Saturday at St. Mary's, reading to kids who had nobody. I thought maybe she'd call after the honeymoon. Maybe apologize. She didn't. 3 days after returning, my phone rang. Dad, we need to talk. Her voice was different now. Shaky. Desperate. Madison showed up at my restaurant 20 minutes later, looking around at the red vinyl booths and checkered floors like she'd never seen the place. The same restaurant she once called embarrassingly middle class. You look tired, I said. I haven't been sleeping. Preston and I are having some financial difficulties. Financial difficulties? Rich people never said they were broke. What kind of difficulties? Preston made some investments that didn't work out. Cryptocurrency, tech startups, a company that turned out to be a Ponzi scheme. How much? She wouldn't meet my eyes. $847,000. What about your trust fund? Gone. Preston convinced me to invest it all. $400,000 vanished. Madison, I'm sorry, but... Dad, I need your beach house. I blinked. What? We need to sell it, just temporarily, to cover our debts. We'll buy it back when things turn around. You want me to give you my $2.6 million house, so you can sell it? It's not giving, it's lending. Family helping family. Family. Now we were family again. How long would you need it? 6 months. Maybe a year. And if Preston's deals don't work out, Dad, you have to trust me. Trust. From the daughter who uninvited me from her wedding. Let me understand this. You need me to hand over my most valuable asset to cover debts I had no part in creating? Dad, please, we're desperate. How desperate? Preston's family will disown him if he files for bankruptcy. We'll have nothing. You'll have what I had at your age. That's different. You didn't have anything to lose. I had my dignity. Dad, please, you owe me this. After everything, there it was. The entitlement that had been building for years. After everything. What sacrifices, Madison? Growing up with a working-class father. Having to explain why we weren't like other families. Why I couldn't bring friends over, because you might embarrass me. Every word was a knife. I see. So will you help us? I looked at my daughter, really looked at her. The girl I'd raised was gone. I'll think about it. How long? I'll call you. She left without saying goodbye. But she'd made one critical mistake. She'd shown me exactly who she really was. Now it was time to show her who I really was. That night, I pulled Madison's financial records. As her father, I still had access to her accounts. What I found made my stomach turn. While crying poverty, they'd spent $212,000 in 6 months on luxury items. Their Italian honeymoon alone cost $67,000. The same daughter who uninvited me from her wedding had spent more on 12 days in Venice than most families earn in a year. I printed everything. Then I made a decision. I called St. Mary's. Sister Catherine, this is Martin Harris. Her warm voice hadn't changed in 40 years. Martin, how are you, child? I'm well, sister. I have a question. If someone wanted to make a substantial donation, enough to build a new facility, what would that take? Silence. Then, Martin, we'd need at least $2 million, but that's just a dream. What if I told you it's not a dream? Are you serious? Dead serious. Can you be available tomorrow afternoon? I want to make this donation publicly. With media. Present. Of course. But Martin, what's the rush? I need to make a point about what really matters in life. I spent the rest of the night making arrangements. Called my lawyer. Contacted Channel 7 News. Then I called Madison. Dad, it's late. I've made my decision about the house. I want to discuss it in person. Can you and Preston come to my office tomorrow at 2:30? Can't we handle this over the phone? This is a $2.6 million decision, Madison. I think it deserves a face-to-face conversation. Okay, we'll be there. Good. And Madison, bring your checkbook. The next day at 2:30, Madison and Preston walked into my office. Then they saw the camera crew. Dad, what's going on? Why are there cameras here? Sit down, both of you. I gestured to Sister Catherine. This is Sister Catherine from St. Mary's Children's Home. Madison looked confused. Preston looked annoyed. And this is Janet Morrison from Channel 7 News. Preston went pale. Martin, what exactly is happening? We're here to make an announcement about my Cape Cod property. Madison leaned forward eagerly. You're transferring it to us? In a manner of speaking. I stood and looked directly into the camera. My name is Martin Harris. 37 years ago, I was a homeless 8-year-old at St. Mary's Children's Home. Today, I'm donating my $2.6 million Cape Cod beach house to Sister Catherine so they can build a new facility for 47 children who deserve hope instead of just survival. Madison went white. Preston shot to his feet. What the hell are you doing? I picked up my pen and signed the first donation paper. Stop. Madison lunged forward. Too late. My signature was already dry. Dad, what have you done? I've done what I should have done years ago. Preston grabbed Madison's arm, his face red with rage. You senile old bastard. That was our house. I looked into the camera. Did you catch that? Preston just called my house their house. We had an understanding. Preston shouted. We had a conversation. There's a difference. My lawyer stepped forward. The moment Mr. Harris signed that document, ownership transferred to St. Mary's. It's irrevocable. Sister Catherine approached the camera. This donation will allow us to house 75 children in individual bedrooms with a library, computer lab, and playground. Nobody cares about your damn children, Preston screamed. The room went silent. Even Madison stared at her husband in horror. What did you just say? I asked quietly. Preston realized his mistake, but it was too late. I signed the second copy. Dad, stop. You're destroying our lives. Am I? Or am I finally teaching you what life is actually worth? I signed the third and final copy. There it is. Done. Madison was crying. I'll never forgive you for this. I know, but maybe someday you'll thank me. The door slammed behind them. Sister Catherine squeezed my hand. You did the right thing, Martin. I hoped she was right. The story went viral. Within hours. By 6 p.m., every TV in my restaurant was showing Janet Morrison's report. The footage of Preston screaming, Madison crying, Preston's comment about damn children. Then something unexpected happened. Applause. It started with one elderly woman at table 12. Then another customer. Then the entire restaurant erupted. My phone exploded with messages. Supportive, angry, everything in between. By 8:30, Sister Catherine called. Martin, we've received over $40,000 in donations since the story aired. A construction company wants to donate labor. A furniture store wants to donate beds. That's wonderful, sister. This isn't just about the house anymore. This is about inspiration. At 9:45, Madison called. Dad, people are saying terrible things about me online. What kind of things? That I'm spoiled, entitled, that I don't deserve to be your daughter. Do you disagree? Long pause. I don't know anymore. Madison, that's the first honest thing you've said to me in years. Dad, I'm scared. Of what? Of losing everything. Sometimes crashing is the only way to learn how to ride properly. Can I find my way back? That depends on whether you want to be someone who lifts others up or tears them down. I want to be better, Dad. I just don't know how. Start small. Help one person who can't help themselves. Like what? Figure it out, Madison. That's how you learn. I stood in the courtyard of the new St. Mary's Children's Home. 3 stories of red brick and hope. 75 individual bedrooms. A library with 10,000 books. A playground that looked like a dream. Sister Catherine walked beside me. The children moved in yesterday. Would you like to see? In room 14, an 8-year-old named Timothy sat writing thank you letters. What are you working on? I asked. He looked up, recognizing me immediately. Mr. Harris. I'm writing thank you letters to everyone who donated. I've written 47 so far. What do you want to be when you grow up? I want to help kids like me. Maybe run a place like this. I think you'd be good at that. Sister Catherine handed me an envelope. This came for you. Inside was a check for 5,000 soles made out to St. Mary's, and a note. Dad, I've been volunteering at a food kitchen for 4 months. Preston and I divorced 3 months ago. I'm living in a studio and working as a server. It's hard, but I'm learning what real work feels like. This donation is from my own savings. Not much, but it's mine. I hope someday you'll be proud of me again. Love, Madison. I folded the letter carefully. Will you see her? Sister Catherine asked. When she's ready, really ready. How will you know? When she stops asking for things and starts giving them. Madison called. Dad, I got promoted to assistant manager, and I've been accepted to a program that trains people to run non-profit organizations. That's wonderful, sweetheart. Dad, I understand now what you were trying to teach me. What's that? That the only wealth that matters is what you give away? I'm proud of you, Madison. Does this mean you'll have dinner with me? I'd like that very much. There's a little place near my apartment. Nothing fancy. Sounds perfect. Dad, yes. Thank you for not giving up on me. I never gave up on you, Madison. I just stopped enabling you. I love you. I love you too. That evening, I appeared on PBS discussing charitable giving. Mr. Harris, do you ever regret giving away $2.6 million? I thought about Timothy writing thank you letters, about 75 children sleeping in real beds, about Madison learning to work for what she wanted. I didn't give away $2.6 million. What? Did you give away? A house. Just a house. And what did you get in return? I smiled. Everything that matters. Somewhere in the city, 75 children were sleeping safely in beds they'd never dreamed possible. Somewhere else, my daughter was learning that the best way to find yourself is to lose everything you thought you needed. And somewhere, in between, a father had finally figured out the difference between helping and healing. It cost me a house, but it gave me back my daughter, and that was worth more than all the money in the world.